There are 12 incredible things hidden beneath the waters of the Icon of the Seas, most of which passengers never see. From massive engines to minus 162-degree fuel, secret crew tunnels, and even a morgue, everything is hidden beneath this massive ship. And starting with number 12, the final mystery will truly surprise you. Number 1, ship's shallow draft. Icon of the Seas is one of the largest passenger ships ever built. But here's the strange part. Despite rising more than 25 stories above the ocean, the ship reaches only about 9.25 meters below the waterline. That's incredibly shallow for a vessel stretching 364 meters long. Think about that for a second. A floating city this massive is sitting on a foundation that barely dips into the sea. The reason comes down to geography. Many Caribbean ports are relatively shallow, so the engineers couldn't simply make the ship deeper. Instead, they had to build upward. Every engine, tank, machine, pipe, and piece of equipment had to fit into that limited space beneath the water. And that shallow underwater section is the foundation supporting everything passengers see above. What looks like a massive city floating on the ocean is actually balanced on a surprisingly narrow underwater structure. Number 2. I-95 Crew Highway. It's called the I-95. And no, it's not a highway on land. It's a massive industrial corridor running through the ship, almost from one end to the other. The marble disappears, the fancy carpets disappear, and suddenly, you're surrounded by gray industrial walls and equipment. This is where the invisible side of the cruise ship operates. Thousands of meals, towels, luggage, supplies, cleaning equipment, and restaurant deliveries move through these corridors every single day. Passengers walk through beautiful promenades and glass elevators. The crew moves through a completely different world behind the walls. It's basically a second transportation system hidden inside the first ship. And without this secret highway, keeping a floating city running would be almost impossible. Number 3. Crew cabins. While thousands of passengers enjoy the pools, restaurants, and entertainment above, another population lives deep inside the ship. Around 2,350 crew members work aboard Icon of the Seas, and many of them sleep far below the passenger decks. Down there, space is extremely valuable. Crew cabins are designed to use every possible square meter. Some rooms have no windows at all because below the water line there may be nothing outside except the ocean pressing against the steel hull. Even the beds were carefully designed to save space. Royal Caribbean developed an L-shaped bunk arrangement, allowing beds to fit together more efficiently inside these compact rooms. It may sound like a small design choice, but on a ship where engineers fight for every cubic meter, saving even a little space can make a huge difference. Above them is a luxury resort. Below them is where thousands of people quietly live and work to keep that resort moving. Number 4. Crew class system. Behind the luxury of Icon of the Seas is a completely different world, one divided by rank. Crew members, staff, and officers have different areas of the ship, different accommodations, and even different places to eat. It's a hierarchy physically built into the ship's design. Entertainment workers, shop employees, casino staff, housekeeping teams, kitchen crews, and officers may all work on the same vessel for months, but their daily lives can look very different. Some live in more basic accommodations. Others have larger cabins and greater access to certain areas. The system exists for a practical reason. A ship this large needs a strict organization to function. Thousands of people have different jobs, different schedules, and different responsibilities. So beneath the glamorous passenger experience is a carefully controlled working environment. The guests see one world. The crew lives in another. Number 5. 6 giant engines. Now we reach the part of Icon of the Seas that sounds almost impossible. Deep inside the ship are 6 enormous engines. Each one is massive, longer than a city bus, and weighing several times more. Together, these engines can produce roughly 89 megawatts of installed power. But here's the surprising part. They don't directly spin the ship's propellers. Icon of the Seas uses a diesel-electric system. The engines generate electricity, and that electricity is distributed across the entire vessel. It powers propulsion, air conditioning, elevators, pumps, kitchens, entertainment systems, and countless other machines. In other words, the engines aren't just moving a ship. They are powering an entire floating city. Every elevator ride, every restaurant, every air conditioning system, and every movement through the ocean depends on this enormous hidden power plant below the passengers. Number 6. LNG, fuel tanks. Directly beneath the world of swimming pools and restaurants is something far less relaxing: liquid methane. Icon of the Sea stores liquefied natural gas, or LNG, inside enormous cryogenic tanks, and the temperature inside those tanks is around minus 162 degrees Celsius. That is unbelievably cold. The gas has to be cooled to such an extreme temperature so it can become a liquid and take up far less space. But even then, the tanks are enormous. They occupy a significant portion of the lower hull, forcing engineers to design much of the ship around them. The fuel is eventually delivered to the ship's engines, where it becomes part of the energy system powering this massive vessel. So while passengers are enjoying a drink beside the pool, hundreds of tons of extremely cold fuel are stored deep beneath their feet. It's one of the most remarkable engineering challenges hidden inside the ship. Number 7. Rudder. Here's something surprising about Icon of the Seas. It doesn't have a traditional rudder. For thousands of years, ships have relied on rudders to control direction, but Icon uses a completely different system. 3 massive Azipods sit underneath the hull. Each one contains an electric motor connected directly to a propeller. And instead of a fixed propeller pointing in one direction, the entire pod can rotate. That means the ship can direct its thrust wherever it needs to go. Forward, backward, left, right. This gives an enormous vessel incredible maneuverability. Imagine trying to turn a ship longer than 3 football fields using a traditional steering system. Now imagine being able to rotate the propulsion units beneath it and almost point the ship in the direction you want. That's the technology allowing this floating city to move with surprising precision. Number 8. Self-docking system. A ship this massive shouldn't be able to move sideways, but Icon of the Seas can. Near the front of the hull are 5 powerful bow thrusters. These giant underwater propellers are mounted inside tunnels running across the ship. Instead of pushing the vessel forward, they push water sideways, and that gives the ship something extremely valuable: lateral movement. Combined with the rotating Azipods at the back, the system gives the captain extraordinary control. The ship can adjust its position, rotate, and move toward a berth with remarkable precision. That's why you can sometimes watch a vessel this enormous arrive at a port without a fleet of tugboats pushing it around. From the passenger deck, it looks effortless, but underneath the water, several powerful propulsion systems are working together to make that movement possible. It's not magic, it's engineering. Number 9. Bubble carpet. Icon of the Seas has another unusual trick hidden underneath its hull. It can create a carpet of bubbles. Inside the ship, compressors push air through outlets built into the bottom of the hull. As the ship moves forward, those tiny bubbles spread backward underneath the vessel. Why? Because water creates friction, and the more surface area moving through the ocean, the more energy the ship needs to maintain speed. The bubbles create a thin layer between the steel hull and the surrounding water. Less direct contact means less resistance, and less resistance can mean less energy required to move the ship. On a vessel this enormous, even a small improvement in efficiency can become significant over thousands of miles. So while passengers see nothing but ocean behind the ship, underneath them is an invisible stream of microscopic bubbles helping the vessel glide through the water. Number 10. Morgue and jail cell. Some of the most unexpected rooms on Icon of the Seas are not designed for entertainment at all. Deep inside the ship are medical facilities, a morgue, and even a holding cell. The reason is simple. A cruise ship can spend days at sea with thousands of people on board. If someone becomes seriously ill, the ship needs medical facilities. If a passenger dies far from port, the ship needs a secure place to store the body until authorities can take over. And if someone becomes dangerously violent, the crew needs a secure location to isolate that person. That's where the ship's holding cell comes in. These facilities are hidden far away from the glamorous passenger areas. Most guests will never see them, but they are essential parts of operating a floating city. Because when you put thousands of people on a ship in the middle of the ocean, you have to prepare for much more than entertainment. Number 11. Why it doesn't tip over. Look at Icon of the Seas from the outside, and one question almost immediately comes to mind. How does something this tall not tip over? The answer is hidden below the waterline. The heaviest equipment is placed low inside the ship. Engines, generators, fuel systems, water tanks, machinery, and other heavy equipment help keep the center of gravity much lower than the ship's massive silhouette suggests. Then there are ballast tanks. These tanks can be filled or adjusted with seawater to help control the ship's balance. There are also retractable stabilizer fins that extend from the hull and actively reduce the ship's rolling motion. And the hull itself is divided into watertight compartments, so the goal isn't simply to make the ship impossible to damage. The real goal is much smarter. If something goes wrong, the ship should remain stable, maintain essential systems, and have the ability to return safely to port. Number 12. Turns waste into resources. Perhaps the most surprising technology aboard Icon of the Seas is the way it deals with water and waste. In the middle of the Caribbean, the ship can't simply connect to a city water system, so it makes much of its own fresh water from the ocean. Reverse osmosis systems and other treatment equipment process seawater and turn it into usable fresh water. But the story doesn't end there. Wastewater is treated before discharge, while food waste and other materials can be processed through advanced systems designed to recover useful resources. In one process, organic waste can be heated with very little oxygen, producing gases that can be used as an energy source. So yesterday's food waste can become part of tomorrow's energy system. The ship also uses waste heat recovery, recycling systems, and other technologies to reduce what it sends to landfill, and that's what makes Icon so fascinating. It isn't simply a giant cruise ship. Underneath the luxury is a self-contained industrial machine, making water, managing waste, producing power, and moving thousands of people across the ocean.